men should have boundaries. The way they expect women to have boundaries,
Yeah.
they have to have boundaries.
Very important.
My neighbor, where I live, we're just two. Just
Yes.
me and my neighbor. My neighbor is a married man, but his wife is often not at home.
Yeah.
He's always the one who, I see him mostly by himself at home. But I tell you what, his boundary smells so bad that I don't want to smell it. I like as a young woman, I respect his boundaries.
Good.
Like it's visible for you to see.
He's very cautious. Mm-hmm.
Like Obi Ohanka will be a nice chick. She lives alone. She's single.
You
know, even though he's married, he would like to,
befriend you.
What's up? No. He respect, and I like it. I like men like that. And because it rubs off of me, it makes me also want to keep my boundary very high. Not because I would have wished he was friendly, no. But it's teaching me something about boundaries.
Yeah.
So, and also teaching me something about men.
Yes.
That if he wants to have boundaries, he will have it.
True that.
Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
It's okay if you want to be nice. Yeah, it has rained. A lady has come to visit some other person. First of all, that's not your visitor.
Yeah.
That's a stranger.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying be wicked or don't be nice to people, but the least you could have done is to give her like the towel that you don't use, maybe a spare towel. Give it to her and tell her, use that to warm yourself and pick another car or something and go. But you don't open your door
and let her
have the lady come sit in your hall
comfortably.
And then
you help
give
her dry
your
her
towel,
and
then after you give her a stranger,
and then you help her dry her
hey,
clothes.
Are you for that Christmas?
No, Mother Teresa.
I mean, it doesn't make sense, honestly.
Mahatma Gandhi.
It screams of a man who doesn't have boundaries and perhaps, if I may, self-respect. Yeah, especially for somebody like you. What cheated that? To him say. The idea me ye dear.
The assembly.
Also surprise visits. Say and your surprise and your surprise visits cry. I mean Entoye. It doesn't augur well. And it shouldn't augur well with him. So unfortunately, how does he convince? Maybe the only option he would have is to call the young lady, have him come
and bear witness.
Have the girlfriend also come and have the young lady explain issues, and he should pray that God gives the girlfriend the spirit of discernment and apotre to understand. Because if I were the girlfriend, I'll say you guys are in on it, because now it happen.
No, let me be diabolic a bit. What if the girl who actually came that you were so nice to went away and thought, oh, Fantastic is a nice guy.
Not even that. Not even that.
You know, friend will say, come and be a witness. Like, oh, no, we had said.
That could happen. That could happen. But even aside that, you know how petty women can be?
Of course.
If this lady in question finds out that apparently my presence is ruffling some feathers. So okay, girl, let's play, baby.
Yeah, I want a band. I would say, me and him, baby, we've been going out for a while now. I'd be liking him.
Exactly.
Yes, especially.
But all of these would have been avoided if you had some boundary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what I'm picking from what let's talking about is the fact that as human beings, we all need boundaries.
Yeah.
We all need to build some. Because, where they want to do? Hey, Mother Teresa. We feel cry.
AJ, good afternoon.
Afternoon, bro.
I hope you're doing well.
Oh, by God, as you can see, my face is shining.
Yeah,
I'm very happy.
You know, this is a very tricky and dicey situation.
Very.
It's unfortunate that a young man finds himself within that circumstance. You know, it's very difficult for you to, convince your girlfriend, especially having a history of cheating. So there is a precedent, and this one would drum home that notion that, okay, you are a cheat, and explaining is difficult. But it all starts from the last time he was caught. What happened and what did he do? What happened? Was it in the same scenario? Where was he caught? Was it in a hotel or in the house? How did it happen? Were they in action? Or they were seen together and maybe a fight broke up or there was a confrontation. All these things play a role. So if it was in the act, which means now that the lady is there, you might have finished or you are about to. So there is a case already. So the moment the lady sees that, she will not be rational
At all.
because it will be difficult for you to convince her. But personally, let me tell you this. Humans are humans. When people find themselves in difficult situations and you decide to help, personally, I don't see anything wrong with that. Especially if the person that is hosting that friend happens to be somebody you are buddy with.
And that's what I'm asking. How
Yeah.
close are you
Yeah,
with the
you
lady?
know.
And mind you, that neighbor, the person in the next apartment, is a woman.
It
How
depends.
close? Have you met this lady before? Why are you going all out? Because, Charlie, to the
Human
point,
be-
say,
human beings, AJ,
Uh-huh.
are human beings. If it is raining seriously, like it rained today, you cannot look at her and say no. because
No.
I'm coming.
Okay,
Let me finish. Let me finish. You cannot look at her and say, okay, go through the rain. At least it would be nice to, especially knowing if you are free with your next door neighbor and knowing that she's also close. Me, I don't see anything wrong with that. The only situation is unfortunate that what happened. And when the girlfriend came there, what happened?
the girl was lying on your couch asleep, in your shirt,
Okay.
in your clothes.
Yeah, and what happened? No, I just want to understand. So the girl was there.
In your
Was
hall,
the girl
asleep.
disrespectful?
He didn't say that.
The
part.
approach also plays a role.
Yeah.
Because action speaks a lot.
But
I'm coming. So what happened? Was the girl remorseful for creating such a mess for the guy, even though he had genuine intentions? That is, if what the guy is saying is the truth.
I mean, from all indications, then nothing sensible happened, because I'm looking at this, not to cut you, I'm looking at this from the point of view that I'm the lady who, was in the shirt. So this person who helped me out's girlfriend has come and has seen me sleeping in the hall in the shirt.
Yeah.
And she's obviously throwing tantrums or whatever. I'd say, oh, auntie, I'm very sorry. I know how this looks, but he was just helping me as I came to see
So and
Najeli
so,
Doku,
yeah.
and she's not there, and it was raining, so he offered to have me sit in the hall while she comes. I don't think any sensible girl
Will still overreact.
would still overreact if
Definitely.
this was
So
coming
it
from
comes
the
back
girl.
to what I was saying.
So it means the girl didn't do anything.
that you see, sometimes our actions and inactions causes a lot.
Oh yeah.
Okay, now the lady is there. You are in a place that you know that is not where you play.
Yeah.
Now the owner of the house comes and sees something that I definitely,
Rightly so.
you
Owner
know,
of the house.
definitely she would love to find out who you are and what are you doing in that dress. Nobody will be happy to see that. Definitely, as human as we all are, and especially having something. This is not the first time that has happened. So definitely there's that. Maybe you beg for forgiveness, she forgave you. For how long is she going to forgive?
Yeah.
So it depends on what the lady did and what the guy did.
His conduct.
Yes. When the girlfriend came, what exactly happened?
That place can help us understand how to help him better.
What exactly happened?
What did the girl do?
Was the girl rude? Was she remorseful?
Yeah.
Because that will set the tone for any confusion or solving the issue.
Yeah.
What exactly went on? Was the girl rude? Oh, okay, after all, are you the only woman? Blah, blah, blah. What did the guy do?
Yeah.
Did he explain? Because
Things to her.
or the
the heat
girlfriend
of the
or the
moment.
girlfriend, after seeing that, just decided to walk off and go, I will not listen to you or something, because you have a history for
Yeah.
that. So there is a missing link somewhere, and that is how we can
Help him
help him
fix it.
fix it. If your girlfriend got angry and you also got angry, which means you are inflaming passion.
Of course.
You are helping her to get angry the more,
More,
because
yeah.
you've done that before. So you are buttressing the intentions she has already.
Yeah.
Did you beg?
you're validating her thoughts.
Did you beg?
Very true.
If you begged and she said no, did the lady too explain what happened? Because your girlfriend, I'm not sure.
At that point in
she's-
time, the lady should even beg. Oh,
Yeah.
that is what I'm saying. I'm not sure your girlfriend is a lunatic.
exactly.
That's it.
Yeah.
She's not.
She would only react if the explanation didn't go well with her.
Or maybe the lady had
Or
an
your
attitude.
actions and inactions.
Said a lot. And then the lady had an attitude.
Yeah. So where it has gotten to, explaining. Yes, you need to explain. You need to apologize. Fine.
Beyond,
Learn a lesson.
yeah,
But don't force it on your partner
yeah,
to accept or forgive. She's a human being. Let her think.
yeah.
Give her some space. Yeah.
And your actions afterwards
You know something I
would
told.
determine what she would do.
Yeah.
You know, in our part of the world, when people offend you and they apologize and you decide not to accept, then you become the bad person.
Yeah.
You
As if they are entitled to
Yeah,
the,
they are
the-
entitled
the,
to
the
leave her.
acceptance of the apology.
Yeah, leave her to be. At least she's a human being. She will think through.
Yeah.
You know, I was having this conversation with, there is this business move that we're doing. We're organizing some event for somebody. And the team that I'm working with, it got to a time the pressure was, as we are lagging behind, And the person too, we've had some discussion, and the person too definitely might have other people that he speaks to and all
Yeah.
these things. So I told him, look, let's give him our A game and let's give him some space. And lo and behold,
He came back.
he came back. So sometimes the best way out is to give people their space.
Yeah.
So that if the person really loves you and is willing to be with you, that person, even though the person is angry, it's just for a while.
Yeah.
The person will begin to reminisce the good part of you. By this time we are here. To me. And this morning, this person would have been the first person to call. All these things. Then before you realize, the anger will be
patching
going
things,
down. The anger will be going down till it gets to a point where she's ready to accept your apology.
Yeah.
Then you need to promise that it will not happen again. And blah blah blah. Don't force it whilst the anger is there. It will worsen the whole situation.
I don't really think it's anger for the girlfriend. I think it's pain and betrayal, because she'll probably feel like, this happened like a few months ago, a year ago. We've sorted this out. I thought this was behind us. You're doing this again.
You know, anytime I listen to Kumi talk, I really hope that young men
I'm listening.
listen.
Yeah.
They don't just hear, they listen. Because he talks like a mature man. And where he's gotten to and how he talks, you can only think like that and talk like that
Yes.
when you grow up.
Yeah.
So even now he's talking, it won't make sense. As a young man sitting somewhere saying, that's how
My bonnet, yeah.
But when you grow and you go through certain things, you go through sometimes even marriage, and you leave the marriage, it comes with some kind of experience.
Yeah.
Even growth itself, maturing itself, comes with some depth of knowledge.
True that.
And I really hope that the young men, they listen, because I think most young men, I like hanging out with young men a lot. Like
We always do with them.
20s and everything. I like to listen to what their perspective, the perspective of on things, and what they think and all of that. And I realized that most of them are very entitled and selfish.
Narcissistic.
The things they expect of you, they only expect of you. They don't expect it to be expected
of
from
them. Yeah.
And that is selfish.
That is irresponsibility.
Exactly. It's selfish and irresponsible. And because at the end of the day, it doesn't, a woman asking you to be maybe considerate of maybe the things you say, how you act. It's not a woman trying to say, let's be equal.
Nope.
We're just saying that the way God created us, we're different. I always say that I can't be like a man. I don't even want to be a man
It's not easy being
because
there.
it's not easy at all. But I
Yeah.
cannot relate.
Mm-hmm.
So in that same vein, as a man, you cannot relate. The way I think, the way I process things, the way I see things, you cannot relate. And so when, as a man, you do something to me, a woman, and I say, yo, this thing you've done, I don't like it. Don't do it again. It bothers me. It is not the time for you to come and prove to me why you have to do it and why I should understand that you have to do it. You understand me
Yeah.
now? It is for you to listen, and especially after listening, try and put yourself in the person's shoes. That, okay, if roles were switched and this thing was done to me,
But I like it.
would I like it? How would I react?
Mm-hmm.
It always helps people be objective. But most of the time, when you ask men to do that, their response is men cohort.
Don't take me there. Yeah.
No, but
And I think it's an excuse for irresponsibility.
Mm-hmm.
It's an
What-
excuse
what are you
for
saying?
dirty behavior.
what you're saying, it is true. But the problem is not the person. The problem is who, parented them,
Okay.
who raised them up.
Right.
Because if you teach the child, if you read the Bible, say teach the child the way he should go, and when he
he'll not
grows, he will
depart
not
from
depart
it.
from it, and all these things. So the person is giving you how he was trained.
Right. Which is not of no fault of theirs.
No.
Right.
And you see, it is difficult to convince people, especially when they are used to a particular thing.
Yeah.
That is how they were brought up.
Yeah.
Our society, we've trained our young men to be chauvinist.
Yeah. Be men.
So
in the name
I
of
know
whatever
a
being a man
guy
means.
who would never apologize to a woman.
Right.
Yes, and when you're talking and Oba, and the
And
way,
in his head, that is being an alpha male.
and to him, that is what makes him feel good.
Yeah.
That is what makes him feel superior.
Yeah.
Why?
So if such a person, if such a person happens to be your subordinate
Yeah.
Oh my God.
as a woman,
You break.
he will always give you tough
Yeah.
time. You always clash
And
because
and
the fact that you are female and you are his boss alone,
yeah.
knocks
It's
on his liver.
infuriating him.
Yeah.
So it's all about the training. I always tell people that we train people to be good doctors. We train people to be good journalists.
Yeah.
We train people to be good footballers.
Yeah.
But we don't train people to
Be
be
good
good
husbands
husbands and
And
wives.
wives. Yeah.
Yeah.
You only get that experience when you are about to marry. And you go for
Go for
counseling 6 months.
Yeah.
A character trait that I've built for only God knows how long, over 30 years.
Absolutely.
You want the pastor to use 6 months to correct me? I don't know
Yeah.
why.
That's ridiculous.
It doesn't make sense.
And Kumi, this runs deeper. It runs deeper. When I say it runs with a parenting thing. And that is why, if you're a young lady listening to me, I don't care what kind of sexual urge you have. If you're not ready to have a child, don't have a child.
Thank you, ma.
Even if you take seed, I'm sorry. What I'm going to say is going to
Or ruffle a few feathers.
Exactly. People are going to look at me some way, but it's the reality. Even if you take seed and you talk to the man and he says, I'm not ready, do not give birth. Find a way to get rid of that pregnancy.
Why?
Because you see, we allow people in the name of sacrifice for somebody, be a mother, be something, and then they bring out a child and they have no
Clue.
idea or clue on how to cater for this child. We have people who, let's say I'm dating
Kumi.
Kumi. I love Kumi. But no, maybe Kumi had this agenda. And so Kumi impregnates
You were a
me.
project.
Exactly. I was a project to Kumi. And so I get pregnant. I tell Kumi. Kumi says no. Society expects me that I need to paint a picture of a good mother, a good woman. And how does that picture look? I need to give birth and suffer and take care of the child. What they don't consider is all the pain I have harbored against Kumi.
Mental, health related issues.
Unconsciously, I'm going to vent it out on this child.
Definitely.
And this child is going to take and soak up all of these things, and it does things to people's psyche. I'm a product of a single mother, so I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I feel you.
It takes the grace of God, and Charlie, it takes the grace of God. I'll just object it to the grace of God.
I think that one day we can discuss this.
Yeah,
but I was about
for
to
that
tell you.
child to grow up,
But
and
I was
be
going
normal.
so you realize I was about to interject and
Yeah.
say that. But we've all had kids, and it doesn't come with a manual, and we're all trying to bring them up. God knows that. Well,
Yeah.
I talk to you about my kids,
Yeah.
and it's not. It doesn't come with the manual. Every day, I've had conversations with you.
Yeah.
And we've talked about my son because bringing
Yeah.
up you have to be able to understand. I've spoken to Robert Clark, how he brings up
It's
his
not
little boy and
easy.
stuff. It's not easy. I actually think it takes a village.
hatred for children. It's crazy.
How many
I take
conversations
care
have
of
we
my
had
brother,
about Zoe?
my little brother, and Kumi.
It's not easy.
Kumi, all of a sudden, and that experience is actually helping me.
Yeah.
It's helping me a lot, and I thank God for the experience I'm having with my little brother. But it is not easy,
At all.
and to be a big sister, because he lives with me, I have to be a mother as well.
Yeah.
I have to be a father to him as well.
And a big sister.
It is not easy. It takes the grace of God.
Stressful.
But you see, let me come with the question again. Someone will not agree with you and say, yo, we're all having kids. It didn't come with a manual. So what are you saying? Why should I get rid of it?
It doesn't come with a manual, you're right, but it doesn't mean do it irresponsibly or terribly or do it anyhow. There's a way else. If we're going to continue doing it anyhow, then what kind of society are we building? There's a way. We should understand that the child is a product of our choice.
Yes.
Okay. But that choice we made, the child had nothing to do with the choice. He didn't ask to come onto this earth. And so whatever you do, make sure you take your selfish interest out of
The
your
equation.
decisions that concerns the child. You always have to find a way to take out your feelings out and consider the child's feeling alone. And it's the most difficult. Hey, it's difficult to do that thing.
Do you know the problem? The problem is not from the parents alone. It's a breakdown of our social values. Now, AJ, you are here.
Yeah.
You're working. Okay, my in-law too needs to work. So everybody is working.
Yeah.
Who takes care of the child?
Okay, right now they're in school.
They are in school. So the teacher will take care of the child.
Yeah.
Do you know what the teacher is teaching?
Teaching your child.
Beyond ABCD. The teacher is impacting into the child his or her values. What they see. Because they are role model. That is why you can say something and your son or your daughter can tell you,
The
my
teacher
teacher
didn't
says-"
say we should do it like this.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the teacher has become a role model.
Yeah.
So that part,
Has actually become his or her parent.
so
But that's why that's why
subconsciously-
my nose is in that part too.
subconsciously, even though you are not to be blamed for that,
Yeah.
but the teacher infiltrates into how you are raising your kids.
Yeah.
Of course.
Subconsciously.
Yeah.
So the teacher has become part of your kids, their psyche. Then you also play a role. Now, after school, you're working. Most homes, children are raised by TV sets. They come,
Video
they watch,
games.
they
No,
watch
my-
TV, they play, they watch video games and all these things. So you realize that they are growing without parental values. And at that formative stages, that is when it's like having an empty sheet. That is when they, build their psyche,
Definitely.
they develop their ideas and all these things. And they grow with it. So when they grow with it, and you are a pastor,
You can't use 6 months, 3 months.
you can't.
You can't.
no.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
You
See,
can't.
now
But
even
I'm coming. First, if AJ is not there and I'm there, I can go to her aid and watch the kids.
Yeah.
But now we've become individualistic.
Yeah. Everybody, don't touch my
So
kid. Don't
that
beat
is
my
the
kid.
problem.
Yeah.
So nobody is checking
helping.
anybody.
Yeah.
Nobody is helping. And the kids are being raised by the street, by TV sets, by teachers,
who
and
also have
technology.
their own values.
So we are
how
raising
they
up
grew
we are raising up human beings
Crazy.
with mechanic mentality.
Yeah.
No sense of
That-
humanity.
That's deep.
My brother,
Yeah.
even down to watching television, I watch it with him.
Me too.
So I bar him. I tell him from Monday to Friday, Actually, because Friday starts the weekend,
Yeah.
I tell him you can start watching television from
Fridays, yeah.
Now, I have a plethora of movies, so I look at ones that are appropriate for him, and I always invite him to come into my room so we
Yeah.
watch the
Movies together.
movies together. Now, I've done this for 3 months now, and this is what I realized. Anytime he's watching the movie, he notes down certain things. Then when he's done, he turns to me. I've even decided to do a series on it and probably share it on social media, where he will start asking me. There was this last movie we watched, and the theme of the movie was about two friends, and one of the friends took advantage of the other friend's gift for his benefit. So this boy finishes the movie, and he's asking, "So, sister, how can I know if my friend is a good friend or not?"
That's a deep question. Because that's difficult for us to even know.
So I tell him, okay, you can tell by being good yourself. You need to be good. You need to know what good is from bad. And you need to practice that. It is the only way you'd be able to know.
And you become the standard.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I realized that, see, at every stage of a child's upbringing, you need to be present.
Of course.
You need to be there.
See, I'm not going to cut you in, but we run out of time. But I need to say this. When you brought up this issue of, our kids go to different places, they are brought up by people.
Yeah.
Me, the school my kids attend, the teachers is have their number, is call them, is ask. I'm serious. I'm gonna ask you questions. I know who my daughter is. I know how my son is. So I explained to the teacher from the very first time, my daughter is so and so and so and so and so and so and so. So you need to keep an eye on her. And we've been having we communicate.
And now-
my son's teacher, I call her randomly. How's he doing? He's having issues making friends. Then we talk about it.
Yeah.
How can you help him this way? I'm supposed they are
That's
vacating.
actually very
I'm
good.
sitting with
Quickly
the other
before-
the two teachers. So what's up? We're moving to the next class. Can you summer break?
Yeah.
Can you give me some guidance as to help him? So when he gets to the next class, he'll be able to. If I feel like, oh, this teacher was good for the girl, so maybe can the boy be sent to that class?
Yeah.
So share.
And quickly
Hands
before I
down.
want to go, so Kumi can come in, to the parents of kids. It's funny how we've turned this whole conversation into acting.
No, but it's very important.
It's connected.
Yes.
Parents of brilliant students. Sometimes they know my child is a shark. He or she is brilliant. So they leave the kids. If you leave a brilliant person to themselves, you let their minds wander. And so the point where you feel like even you have so much confidence in your child, it's a good child, she's brilliant, she's scoring A's, that is the point you have to even be more involved
Thank you.
in her life. When she comes
Shaping
home,
the person's life.
when she comes home with her homework, she may be sharper than you. You may not understand. Sit with her or him. Discuss it. Get to know his mind from where he's even answering his question. And if you find a flaw in him answering, correct it. And correct it at that early stage before he grows.
Thank you.
You see, some time ago, we were having a conversation with this woman, and the woman says something. But before then, what you are doing, that engagement with
My kids.
their kids' teachers. Now, you are impacting your values in the kids through the teacher.
Yeah.
Because the teacher is letting you know how they behave when they are away from you.
Right.
So you are in the know. And you as a parent, you also have a plan and how you want to see your kids grow.
Yeah.
So you do that through
The teacher. So we're working hand in hand.
Which is a
Right.
good thing. So you're working as a team in bringing up the kids. Now, we're in talk with some woman, and the woman said, the biggest person she's afraid of is her son.
Why?
Her son went to the secondary school, came back, and he doesn't talk to anybody.
Yeah.
That's trauma.
He doesn't talk to anybody. When you ask him a question, yes, no. And when you say something that is funny and everybody is laughing, he will just giggle. That's all.
Something is wrong.
He doesn't come out.
Something is wrong.
He doesn't play with anybody. He doesn't talk to anybody, including his younger brother. He's always indoors. Sometimes she will go, sit him down. What is wrong with you? I want to see your girlfriend. And he will giggle. And he's afraid. I think boy neighbor makwanya. Nana hope.
Adeng. She
She's
should
become
take-
something else.
And psychologists have come in. The guy is just not opening
Normal.
up.
Yeah.
She's
Something
been to
happened.
school. She's talked to his friends, teachers,
Boy,
and the guy all of a sudden.
just like that.
And he even said that he's afraid that the guy might even join this extremist groups or
That's
something.
scary.
Yeah, so he's scared. He's scared. Now what she wants to do is that when the guy finishes senior high school, she wants the guy to travel abroad
Hey,
That's not even
worse.
good.
and go and join because she's afraid.
That's
No,
even
that's
worse.
that's the worst idea.
She's afraid.
That's the
That's
worst.
even
And,
worse.
and
That's
join
even
the
worse.
father. The father is there, so maybe
Oh.
he being a man
Oh,
not gonna
please.
help.
can control. So the upbringing, that is the problem. Me,
Right.
I always say that when somebody steals from the nation, I don't blame the politician. I blame the
the
father and the
upbringing.
mother who
Yeah.
brought him up
Yeah.
to that level.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That is our problem because we are morally corrupt. We were brought up, through. Yeah. You don't expect somebody to give what he doesn't have.
But could we let's circle back to the conversation?
No, but you see,
will
I want
cycle back
want
to-
the listeners to understand that what brought us to this part is the fact that sometimes both men and women act like you know you're wrong, but they start acting entitled and play victim. And
Yeah.
we're talking about the fact that this particular issue
It's deeply rooted.
is deeply rooted into something else and it's upbringing, and
Yeah.
we all have to be careful with how we bring
Yeah.
up people. That's why
Yeah.
Noella made that very controversial statement, but she broke it down and explained the reasons why she
So
said
me,
what
my
she
brother, I
said.
tell my brother, I said, things that is done to you that you don't like, don't do it to people.
Yeah.
And Mediashana said from a very young age. So God be praised. He's going to grow up into a fine young man,
Amen.
taking into consideration people's,
people's
feelings. And at least considering people's feelings before he makes a decision.
Yeah.
Some people are so mean. Some are too so creepy.
Yeah.
Other people too, they don't have any sense of humanity. They
Yeah.
don't. They hate you and they don't care.
They don't have a
And-
conscience.
And yes, and those people, do you know something? The little you do,
Yeah.
it hurts
It
them
hurts
to the
them.
marrow.
Yeah.
And they
Upbringing.
they will spread the news for the whole world to know that this person has done this to me.
And
has
telling
done-
that story, they won't tell what they did.
You
That's the
know,
thing.
and
Yeah.
I've had the opportunity to have some people around
Yeah.
me that when I was not well, they were with me, and I thought they were the saviors, around me, and I
Yeah.
realized that Charlie,
They
they
were
were
actually-
playing on my emotions,
Yeah.
knowing that I was
It's even
gullible
worse-
around that time.
It's even worse if it's a woman. A woman like that, that's worse.
By the time that I was well,
Yeah.
that I realized that my camera was lost, my laptop lost, my desk there. The laptop. I remember the laptop. You gave it to me, or you told me to use it because I was ill, and around that time, I was not conscious about so
Your
many
thoughts and everything.
things. So
Human
he
beings.
took advantage of that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Now that I'm well, I've closed my doors.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Boundaries.
It's
And
as
that's
simple as
exactly
that.
what Noella was
You
saying.
know, so our upbringing is the problem. Is the problem. The problem we have as a people, as
And
a
now
nation.
sick people are going to be fathers to kids, innocent kids, and they're going to trickle it down.
And do you know one of
Sad.
I remember when we went for the security course, one of the biggest problem we have, security threats we have, is that the poor are giving birth to too many children.
Really? This is a security threat?
Yes.
How?
Who takes care of them? Streetism will multiply.
Yeah,
And it comes with its own problems.
Yeah.
Drug addiction, abuse, because who monitors the kid?
because mommy
The
and
rich
daddy are trying
give
to.
birth to
Small
few
numbers,
so
yeah.
that they can groom them well.
But let's
poor.
not generalize it because I know.
No,
some
I'm not saying that. You see, it's not general,
Yeah.
but it's one of the
Majority.
problems.
Okay.
I know somebody. He lives in a kiosk with the wife. They have 10 kids.
Okay, that's why I want to stop there.
So all these things play a role. We have a problem as a people.
So back to the young man.
No, you go explain that.
Young man, yeah. At this
You
point
let
it
in
go.
time,
Just leave it to
I
be.
think if you think the lady is worth it, you need to work on yourself, work on earning her trust. Because right now, I mean, her trust for you has been broken.
Severely.
And
Like, it's
you need to
severed.
work. If you think she's worth it, you need to work on building that trust. You need to have patience. have patience, because if
Okay,
I broke your trust as a man,
You wouldn't have
you
that.
wouldn't give it to me back on a silver platter.
Never.
You'd have me work for it.
Yeah.
So that same way, you need to work for the lady's
Don't-
trust.
If she's
don't
worth
if you
demand
think
it.
exactly, if
Don't
you
demand
think
it.
she's worth it, if she's not worth it, let her go.
See, I really agree with all of you, and there's a lot to learn here about the fact that if you really want to be a better person for someone that you really love, then you have to assess yourself.
Yeah.
And
Self-introspection.
yeah, self-introspection. We say this all the time, and then work on yourself, because okay, this person means this to me. How the person is good to me, and the person sees me as this. I've heard the person. I really want the person back in my life. You need to start working on yourself first, and then as you're working on yourself, the person will definitely come around, and then you can pick things up from there. But this particular situation, I agree with Noella. Have some boundaries, especially when you've been caught doing something nasty.
Yeah,
already.
But having the boundaries means you are also exposing somebody to danger. So
No.
the
You
human
see,
part of
Ernesto, you could have just allowed her come in, given her a towel to keep her warm, and there are ways that you can help somebody without having
Why?
to
Would
help the
would
person,
how make any difference? The person is in your room.
because that would have saved you a lot of trouble.
So is it the person being in the room or the
That's-
person wearing your shirt?
You see, that's where women are territorial as well. The same way you guys are. I come in, she's wearing probably your clothes, your shirt and your shorts. In my head, something must have gone down, because how were you so easy to give Noella your clothes?
So
and I can't make.
okay,
and then on
okay.
top to
What if she was
wait,
in a towel?
wait. Let me wrap up. On top to she fine gay body day. Jesus, it's okay. I've closed the show. Thank you guys so much for joining us. But this conversation about upbringing, I think we should have it extensively, because most of our listeners all have kids, and it's going to help us.
We should talk to child psychologists
Yeah, we should
and find out
more.
their psyche.
Yeah,
It's funny.
it's
These
interesting,
kids,
actually.
the way they are technologically inclined, and they are, look, the world is moving at a faster pace. So if you don't take care, your kid will outgrow you.
Yeah, they are actually doing that.
Yeah.
Kumi, thank you so much. Noella, thank you, baby. Big shouts going out to Nakwame Labi, to Arnold. Today, the conversation has really extended. It was quite important.